In a world where pop culture reigns supreme, with too many podcasts and unsolicited opinions, two friends brave the storm to give you just that. Room 303 presents Revenge of the Pod. With your hosts, the Mexican meat connoisseur Jason Escudero, the Puerto Rican nerd aficionado Luigi Orozco, on with the show.
Welcome.
Saludos, amigos.
A nuestra presentación, Revenge of the Pod. As you already heard, I'm your host, Luigi. This is my co-host,
Jason. Welcome, guys. Glad to have you back for another episode. Pretty not much going on. So, we'll besides the Emmys, so we'll definitely get into that.
Yeah. Jason's got some stuff that he has been watching for you guys, though. But let's get straight into it. Jay, how you been, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Just working, grinding, watching football season. The Longhorns ranked one in the nation, baby. So I'm excited about that.
Whoop on Michigan.
Oh, dude, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Quinn Ewers got hurt, but Arch Manning, the nephew of Eli and Peyton Manning, the great Peyton Manning, balled out, dude. It was against UTSA though, so, but dude, he looked nice, man. So hopefully,
I mean, number one in the nation against a regional team, not the greatest of competition, but UTSA, I mean, they're not the worst. So,
yeah, they're no Utah, you know.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
Yeah,
Go Miners. Although this is also UTSA's Roadrunners.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. When I came to San Antonio, I was like, "This is a pickaxe." Get it right?
Right. No, this is
a Roadrunner. I was like, "UTEP's been around longer. It's a pickaxe."
That's funny, man. What you been up to, brother?
Not much, man. I mean, I told you about that brisket I made. I think I'm gonna be making one for Friendsgiving. So I'm going to throw another one on the smoker and see how it goes. This weekend, I think I'm going to try some pinchos, which are like grilled pork skewers, Puerto Rican style. And I might do smoked pernil, which is a Puerto Rican pulled pork, but I'm going to do it smoked with my own kind of flavor to it. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, yeah, that sounds tasty, bro. I'm going to my she's no longer my manager, but we still work together. I'm going to her house this weekend to watch football. She wanted to invite us over. It's like, now that I'm not your manager, you need to come over, meet my family, because you can see how I really am outside of work. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, dude. A couple things I did want to kind of just throw out there. One of our listeners wanted to know a little bit more about the last time we recorded, not the last episode, but the very last episode back in June.
Way back when.
Yeah, we had talked about me going to a soccer game for Copa America. Obviously, Argentina ended up winning that, but I got to go to my very first Mexico game. Well, not my very first Mexico game, but I got to go to my very first Mexico game with my dad. It was really cool, dude. My dad went all out. He wore up a luchador mask, and we brought the flags and everything. Very good environment. It was tied 0-0, but it was overall a good game. All the Ecuador fans were amazing. Everyone was really super nice. We all got along. It was here in Phoenix. My cousins came over with their dad too, and that's my dad's childhood friend too. So we all got to. It was like five. It was 5 of us. We got pretty lit, honestly. I had to calm down towards the end because I did have to drive, but definitely had to take care of them. It was a good time, dude.
Hearing you say that must have been quite a party.
Dude, yeah, dude, it was fun, man. Like, dude, so many jerseys everywhere. They did there was a point during the game where the refs were like, "Hey, you guys, Mexico fans, you guys need to stop saying puto, or else they're gonna." I forgot there was like a penalty or some shit like that, and they're like, "If you guys do that again, we're gonna penalty," and we're like, "What the fuck?" Because it was like the announcement, right? And and we only do it when the opposing kicker, the goalie, he's getting ready to clear it, right? So, and what we do, we go and as soon as he kicks it, right, we say that word. And sure enough, when they announced that next time the goalie kicked it, we're like, oh, we got to do it louder now. So we did it, and nothing happened. So it's more so just like, I don't know. It's just a thing that we do, and it was fun, dude. It was just like, yeah, we don't care, dude.
Mexico fans never do this. Wild soccer.
Yeah, wild soccer fans, man. You love it, man. You love the environment. It's not homophobic. It's just, that's just what you do. It's tradition. Another thing that the listener did want to know, we did talk about it in our last episode, so hopefully that was enough, as we did get to see your wedding again. Congratulations to you guys. But I don't think we did mention about what we did for the bachelor party as far as food-wise goes. We do like to talk about our food, man. So there's a couple places that you recommended that you took us to, which was absolutely amazing. So I definitely, if you guys are ever in Austin, hit up these places that you mentioned, especially one of them specifically. So I'll let you take it from there, Luigi.
Yeah, so for the bachelor party, I was dead set on us going to this place called Loro. It is a Asian barbecue fusion spot that's actually, the idea was started up by the guy that does Uchiko in Austin, which is like their big fancy sushi place, and the guy that does Franklin Barbecue. So this was like a kind of lower level version of those, but I mean, it was still pretty good. I wouldn't imagine it's lower level. All the plates were good. I can't think of a single plate that I was like, that was all right. No, every single one I was like, oh, this is fire. Mind you, I still think the steak was the best one. The butcher's steak, that one was fantastic.
To me, it was the other one. I can't remember what it was, but it was the brisket.
The brisket was the other beef plate, and everybody was raving on the brisket too.
That was my favorite. I don't know what sauce they put on it, but it was absolutely amazing. I even like the smoked salmon, bro. That was so good. So good. And honestly, for how packed it was they gave our food pretty fast. It was pretty fast, but it was so busy, and like they were just churning out the food like crazy.
Well, what's good is that they don't send the food to you, right? They give you one of those things, and then you go pick up the food. You order the food at the counter. So it takes a lot of that time away of like a server coming to serve you, getting your drinks. You get your drinks yourself. You're just sitting there chilling with the homies. So I think that helps.
Yeah, honestly, and they'll you have like the number, right? They'll bring the food out to you, but like it still felt like a restaurant, not like a fast food place,
No, definitely not fast food. No.
But like it was like you order like if you're at a fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
Even your beers and stuff. They have a lot of beers on drafts. Some pretty good beers out there. I had an horchata, I think, if I'm not mistaken, an horchata rum drink. I can't remember what it was, but even that in itself was tasty as heck, man. Another place we went to when we were hungover, what was it called? I don't even remember. I remember I was struggling though.
Well, I don't know if we mentioned we went to a comedy show in which the comedians were actually the ones serving us the drinks. I think it was Comedy on the Roof or Rooftop Comedy, right?
I can't remember, but it was for a good price. I think we only spent like what, $30 each?
$30 each, yeah. And they were all just like
got to see like
comics trying to make it. There was a guy from Chicago, hilarious. That guy was probably the best one of the entire show. Really good stuff. But they were all serving us the drinks, so we had fun. We had a lot of fun. So the next day, we went to a place called Moonshine, which is pretty popular in Austin for its brunch. Its Sunday brunch is pretty well known. It's huge. They have this back area that's just like all these tables that they fill with food that they're serving you of different kinds of things. Jason, I know you love brunch. You would have loved that place on a Sunday.
Yeah, that would be cool. But honestly, yeah, again, we were kind of struggling. It's like Southern style food too, which is kind of nice. I remember getting
Yeah.
the steak and eggs. That also was really good. And I thought what was really interesting is they gave you popcorn for like instead of chips and salsa that they give you for free, they just gave you popcorn with like some seasoning, which was really good in itself too. I thought that was
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I think what everybody got, a lot of people got steak and eggs. I think I got like, God, I think it was like salmon with eggs or something like that, or eggs Benedict. But I
think it was
love it
Benedict,
as well. Yeah, I think it was an eggs Benedict with some kind of salmon on it. I know I had salmon.
You hit up some burger spot too, right?
Say what?
You hit up some burger spot the night before too, right? That you recommended.
Yeah. So in the night we went to 6th Street, the infamous 6th Street. It now has, I don't know how long the installment's been there, but it has a P. Terry's location, which is a homegrown burger joint from Austin. Probably some of the best burgers I've had, especially best fast food burgers I've had. Highly recommend that place too. I mean, you didn't get to try that one because you had some things going on. You were taking care of a friend of ours.
Got to try a lobster sandwich because of that, but I'd much rather have had the burger.
yeah, the burger is pretty fantastic. So that's another spot. I know that people were wondering about the food spot. So yeah, that's one you could definitely want to check out. P. Terry's, Loro, and Moonshine. Those are the spots we went to.
Yeah, if you can't go to all of them, I would probably recommend just Loro. Just go to Loro. Yeah, for sure.
If you have to pick one, yeah, Loro. But P. Terry's is fast food burger, so if you're in a hurry, you might want to pick P. Terry's.
One thing I was disappointed that we didn't get to see because I thought we were going to have a chance on our drive back was going to Buc-ee's. Didn't have a chance. I wanted to get a souvenir and wasn't able to, so I'm a little bummed about that. But hey, maybe next time, you know.
I'll get you something from Buc-ee's.
Oh, I appreciate that. That'd be cool.
I literally had to drive my mom there just because
she wanted.
Yeah. She was like, "Can we go?" I was like, "It's 11. Are you sure?" She was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right. Yeah, no, let's go."
Yeah, so, it's like what, like an hour away from you?
It's like 40 minutes.
Oh, it's not too. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst. I was just more like, it's late. I want to go to sleep.
I don't know if I told the listeners out this, but we are getting a Buc-ee's here in Arizona. We're getting a Buc-ee's in Buckeye, Arizona, which makes sense. Yeah, they would, right? Makes sense.
Yeah. Wow, I feel betrayed by Buc-ee's. First Tennessee and now Arizona. Wow.
Hey man, that means they're doing well. Good business, bro. You want to see that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There's Whataburgers out in like Illinois and Kansas, I think now too, right?
Well, a Chicago group bought Whataburger, so I would assume that they're in Illinois now.
And Pat Mahomes they're like, I need Whataburger in Kansas, y'all. So I'm not sure if it's in Kansas City. So that's Missouri. My bad. Or I don't know, maybe even Kansas, right? Because Kansas City's like right there, right?
I think someone told me it was on the border. I was like, really? I didn't know that. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but we'll take a look at a map later.
Yeah.
As a person, I wish I just knew that off the top of my head, but I do not. That always gets me. I'm like, is it partially in Kansas or is it just all in Missouri?
I think most of it's in Missouri, and like there's a good chunk that's in Kansas as well, but it's technically Kansas City, Missouri. But yeah.
Okay. But yeah, those would be the ones to check out. If you guys have any other things you want recommendations for, let us know. I know I didn't say much about the wedding, but all the guys wore guayaberas, so that was cool. We had we had a very low key wedding. A taquero or taquera actually came and made tacos for everybody to eat. Yeah, they were pretty solid.
Fire, dude.
My family made some Puerto Rican rice, and yeah, we had a good time. We got to hang out with all the people that we wanted to have there, and just something really chill and small. Did
some dancing. That was cool, man. It was good. It was hot.
Honestly, it wasn't that bad too because it had been cloudy the whole time.
Yeah, that was kind of nice, honestly.
It was just humid as hell.
Yeah, the whole trip, honestly, was like oh, this is not that bad, you know, especially coming from Arizona. It's like it's just a little humid, but there was sometimes in Austin's were like it's a very nice day. Honestly, it's not even that humid, so it was kind of nice.
Yeah. No, I would agree. That's what we had all those fans ready. We thought it was going to be blistering hot. We're like,
Yeah,
this time
wasn't
of
bad.
year is rough, and we got lucky. We got really lucky. Yeah, but all right, let's jump into the next thing. You got anything else you want to add to what you got going on?
No, man, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll hop right into it before we get into our feature presentation. There's just a couple things I wanted to bring up that I'm currently watching. Definitely recommend this that I watch, this stuff that I watch. I do recommend for you, Luigi, to watch. I know you haven't watched it yet, but Batman, the Cape Crusader in animation on Amazon Prime came out back in August, early August. I think it was August 1st or something like that. I can't remember. 10 episodes, 25 minutes each. Very heavily influenced by Batman the Animated Series. The Batman the Animated Series was taking place like in the 60s, 50s, based off of like the vehicles that they used. So this is very much the same thing. I believe J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves helped work in this animated series, if I'm not mistaken.
I understand the original creator of Batman the Animated Series was on for this one, right?
I think so too. I think he had a lot to do with it as well. Very different from the original animated series. It followed its own storyline. And there's a couple things that I would say that just being a 90s fan from the animated series fan, I enjoyed some of the storylines better from the 90s. But I do understand that, hey, they wanted to be a little bit different and tell storylines from their side. And I still liked it a lot. Don't get me wrong. There's just a couple things. For example, at the end of season one, some villains already die off, which is very interesting. And I won't say which ones, but and the way they portray some of these characters, they make it seem a little bit more realistic. But what kind of pissed me off was there's some episodes later down the road where they're like ghosts and like magic stuff, and like, okay, then why not make this character not as realistic? You know, I don't know. It was just very interesting. I liked Harley Quinn's character and the way they portrayed her. Very interesting, very evil, very dark. And I do like the way the character that played Batman, the way he was, you can really see like him, you know, really being traumatized by his parents' murder and why he does what he does. So overall, man, it was the writing was great. The character is a little bit different, which is very interesting. Again, there's like subtle differences to each villain that they bring in, which I thought was enjoyable. I guess, you know, it was just like, okay, we all know these characters, but they just have like their own little different storyline based off the stories. And dude, easy watch. I binged it in 2 nights. So I was hooked. You know, oh my god, what time is it? And I was like, oh no. I was like, I gotta know what happens next, because it still felt like, although each episode has a different villain, some the same, but it still kind of follows the storyline towards the end of what happens. And the season finale is from beginning to end. You kind of see what happens, and you see this villain at the end, and it gets a very nice closure for them at the end. And we get a glimpse of Joker at the end. So there should be a season 2.
The tease. I like it.
This little teaser, man. So it was very enjoyable. I thought the writing, acting was fun, great.
I'm gonna guess that they kill Carmine Falcone. I'm pretty sure that's an easy one to kill off first, according to Batman storylines, at least. But we'll see.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The good guess. I'm gonna tell you right now, he's not in it.
What?
Yes. Yeah, maybe in the next one. So we'll see.
That's interesting. They introduced magic before they introduced Carmine Falcone. All right.
Yeah,
see what you're saying. That's interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. Batman has been involved with magical characters pretty heavily, just because he's such a dark character. He's kind of like adjacent to magic, just because he's almost horror, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But they had that whole Justice League Dark film that had him with a bunch of magical and dark characters. Great film, by the way. Really fun to watch. Good animated DC film. But it's interesting to me that they would do that before they do the gangster storylines. So that's interesting.
There's some gangsters in there, so I'm not sure if Falcone will take over afterwards. I don't know. It could be it.
Okay.
I also really do like the relationship between Wayne and Alfred.
Always good. Always good.
Always good, man. Always good. Yeah, like you can just see like obviously Alfred's going to do whatever he needs to do to take care of Bruce because he's known him as a little kid and he sees the turmoil that he's fighting. So he just is not giving up on him. And he sees like that he's still battling within himself. And like, it's just some subtle things that you see. And like, it's crazy, like how an animated story show can do this, right? Even though it's a superhero animation show, there's still like very subtle, like passionate moments between, especially with Alfred and Batman, which is nice. Also, Harley Quinn and Batman, they have some very nice interactions as well, because we don't know she's Harley Quinn at first, right? She's a doctor, right? As we know, like that's her origin story. So
Harleen Quinzel, Dr. Harleen,
Dr. Harleen Quinzel, exactly. So I thought that was very nice, but like it's just so cool that how they do it too, because they don't introduce her; they just introduce her as a doctor first. And you don't know, like, oh, okay, this is just a psychiatrist. And then you later find out, I was like, oh, duh, Jason, what the heck? Why didn't I catch that? Because they didn't say her name until like towards the end. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Dr. Harleen Quinzel, or did they just say Dr. Quinzel?
Dr. Harleen Quinzel, yeah.
Oh, you didn't catch that? Dang.
No. Okay, so so Wayne has to go into an anger, like he punches somebody because they said something about his mother. So he has. Obviously, he's a billionaire, so he has to go through.
Bruce Wayne with anger issues? This sounds strange.
Exactly, right? So he has to do like anger management and then like see a therapist, court ordered, right?
Okay.
And we see the doctor and he just calls her doctor. We don't hear her name or whatsoever. And they're having conversations and like she's like, I feel like we should just meet again. And he's like, after they're done, he's like, their first session, you don't hear her name at all. And then he steals like her paperwork because he's like suspicious about her. And like he opens up her paperwork and is like, I'll see you next Tuesday, Bruce. And then it says, love, Dr. Harleen Quinzel. And you're like, oh shit. Yeah. So that was kind of nice. So they didn't do it. Yeah. It was a nice little subtle way of doing it. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Interesting. And you said she's evil though? She's really evil?
Yeah, yes and no, man. Yeah, well, yeah, definitely evil. Yeah, you'll see why. I don't want to ruin it for you, but
no, you just said it earlier. That's why I was like, oh dang.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see a huge shift with her. Okay, all right.
Yeah, like, I'm excited to see like her interaction with the Joker because we just got a teaser of the Joker, but I mean, we'll see, dude. So.
And what did you think of the actor that does Bruce Wayne / Batman's voice? Does he at least, I mean, obviously he's not going to fill Kevin Conroy's shoes, but does he at least do it justice pretty well?
Oh yeah, dude. Like his voice as Bruce Wayne is cool. One thing that like kind of like irks me, like when he talks to Alfred, he just always speaks in his like when he's him alone with Alfred, he'll just do his like Batman voice, like I guess because his fake persona and how his real voice, like to other people, he's just like that uppity Wayne, right?
Yeah, that's the secret identity.
That's the persona, right? That he's playing, which is perfect because, yeah, which I love because when he's by himself with Alfred and like they're talking about stuff, he will be talking in his Batman voice, like his deep, like depressed self. Like, so I was like, oh, this is tight.
Yeah, this is who you really are. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, Commissioner Gordon, Barbara Gordon's in it. Bullock, the crooked cop is in there. Like it's just very good, man. It's really well written show. I really enjoyed it. Might like it more than Invincible, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's really good. There's some moments where I'm like, so maybe I'll throw Invincible above it.
Did you like it more than X-Men 97? If we're talking animated shows.
See, that's tough because like Batman's my favorite superhero of all time, right? So
I feel that, but X-Men 97.
I would say X-Men 97 is better. I would say that.
Okay. Oh, but it's Batman. Like I'm not downing Batman. I'm just like, what can I expect when I watch this show?
Yeah, definitely X-Men 97 is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. X-Men 97 is better. Yeah. Now I'm thinking about it, I was like, because it's been a while. I'm just, I just watched Batman, so I'm just like soaking that in. So yeah. 97 is better, dude, for sure.
Okay. All right. So pretty good. About the level of Invincible, not quite as good as 97. Okay. All right. I know what to go into this with now.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it, man. Amazon Prime again, guys. It's available now. Again, only 10 episodes, 25 minutes each. Easy watch.
All right. So what else you've been watching, man? I know you watched something else.
Yeah, another TV series that we recently binged, Jamie and I, was Interview with the Vampire, the series. So it's based off of the movie back in the 90s with Brad Pitt, Kristen Dunst, and Tom Cruise.
And Antonio Banderas, he makes a little appearance in it. Remember?
That is right. Bro, going into this show, I was like, I don't know, is it gonna be better than the movie? Like, because I've seen the movie. Honestly, it's been a long time, but I just remember really loving the movie, and I was thoroughly surprised, man. I really enjoy it. I saw the first 2 seasons. Season 1 is actually available on Netflix now. They just recently put it out on Netflix, and then season 2 is actually only available on the AMC Plus network. So,
pause there. If you guys notice, they don't have all of the AMC titles now, but Netflix does have a deal now with AMC to bring all their titles to Netflix before any other streamers. And I think a lot of that has to do with AMC is not able to have its own successful streamer right now. And they've been struggling for years with this because they've lost viewership because there are less people watching cable. So I think this may help AMC quite a bit. And of course, Netflix could always use some of those premium shows that people want to watch that are not always Netflix. So I love this deal, and I love that we're going to get to see some of these shows on there. Sorry,
yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Netflix, bro, we probably would have never watched it. When I went to go visit Kansas to see Jamie's brother, he recommended the show. So it kind of like, all right, like it's that good. He's like, it's good. And I was like, well, okay. A couple thoughts about it, though. I will say this: it is very gay. Now, like, it's not like in your face gay. Well, it kind of is in your face gay, but not like DEI stuff. Like we're like, oh, here, you got to like this. No, it's just like it just falls in line with the story. Like it makes sense. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like it does. It's not like there's some shows and stuff where it kind of feels that way.
It plays out naturally, whereas they're not trying to force it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and I had no problem with it because there's definitely some moments where I'm like, wow, that's very gay. But like it makes sense.
I have to get used to this.
Yeah. I mean, so was the movie, right? It was pretty gay itself, you know.
Yeah, they definitely had some moments where I was like, oh, I've got to adjust my comfort level here. Sure, yeah.
Now, it follows the movie like afterwards. So it's those 2 main characters that, you know, the vampires, Brad Pitt's character is being interviewed by the journalist. From that night, it follows years later after that to when the journalist is old and Louis, Brad Pitt's character, wants to interview with him again. Is like, we didn't get to tell the full story. We need to redo this pretty much. So that's kind of what it kind of falls into. So we actually go back to that storyline and how they met, you know, his life, how he became a vampire, things like that. Now, the character that plays Louis is not played by Brad Pitt, of course, anymore. It's actually played by the character that played the worm in Grey Worm in Game of Thrones, which I didn't recognize that until you told me that prior to our podcast before we started.
Yeah, it's
thought he looked familiar. Yeah, dude. Amazing actor, dude. And then the person that plays Tom Cruise's character, I forget his name, but he plays Lestat, a Frenchman. Love that. He's probably my favorite character, dude. You can't, like, he's like, I don't know if I hate you or if I love you, dude. Like,
Yeah, Lestat is a monster, but you can't take your eyes off him either. Like, yeah,
Yeah, he's a monster, but like you love him, dude. Like you like his character sometimes.
yeah. That's what I loved about Tom Cruise's Lestat too. I mean, you disliked him a little bit more, but at the same time, like he was just so intriguing to watch the entire time. Uh, I definitely am interested in watching the show. I've been wanting to watch it, and right when I saw it on Netflix, I was like, this may be the time that I finally watch this show. That one
Dude,
and a few other AMC titles, actually.
dude, trust me, you are gonna want to get because what we did, we're like, we can watch season 2 in 1 week because we got the AMC Plus for that free trial for like 7 days, and then we canceled it. So we were able to watch. We binged season 2 in 1 week.
How was the second season?
How's the second season? Now it starts off slow. I'm not gonna lie. Also, they show Kristen Dunst's character. I forgot her name. She is actually she's played by a different character in season 1, and then another character in season 2. Now I don't know. They didn't do this on purpose because the person that played the first one had another acting gig during that time. And there's a theory out there that they're like, honestly, it kind of makes sense because Lestat, when he was telling when he was telling his story in season 1, he remembered her a certain way versus season 2, when they were in Paris, he remembers her a different way. So maybe that's why they did 2 different characters. That could also be it. And I actually do like that theory. But again, I think it was during, conflictions with the schedule, things like that, right? It starts off slow, and I was like, because I didn't know if I liked the actress, because I loved the first one, so I was kind of salty. Like when this happens, I was like, I don't know if I like her character. And then towards the end, like the last 3, 4, 5 episodes, man, it built so well, and I was just like, wow, chef's kiss, man, like that was amazing. So that's what I felt about season 2. Season 1, it was just like good episode after good episode, and like towards the end, it just gets really good. Yeah. And then like you feel like it's just going to build from there, and it kind of starts. So season 2, it kind of started off a little bit slow, and then worked his way up. I don't want to ruin any of it for you because there's a huge difference from season 1 to season 2, and like what happens and stuff like that. So I don't want to ruin that for you. Now season 3, recently a teaser just came out, and that's going to be based off the 80s with Lestat in the 80s. So that should be very interesting as well.
Oh, interesting. Is Louis still going to be in this one?
I'm not sure. I think so, because Louis is still alive. So, but I think it's going to, because season 2 stories. Yeah, season 2 follows more of, I think her name is Ashley, now that I'm thinking about it. Follows more Louis and Ashley and their story when they go to Paris.
Her name is Claudia.
Ashley, what'd I say, Ashley? Yeah, Claudia. Season 3, I think it looks like it's going to follow Lestat in the 80s. So what he was doing. So.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to watch both of those shows, actually, especially because we got spooky season literally knocking at the door right now. Dude. Speaking of, I mean, I know you're probably not interested in watching this, but for those spooky fans and Marvel fans, Agatha Harkness did come out this week. So if you're looking to check out some witch and magic stuff, you'll definitely want to check out that show. I'm going to be checking out those first 2 episodes with my wife, seeing how the show comes out. Hopefully it's good. We know Marvel has been hit or miss lately. It's an amazing show like Loki or WandaVision, or it's
like the one with the scrolls. What was it called? Secret Invasion, yeah. We saw the trailer, Jamie and I, and she's like, Agatha looks too scary. I don't know if I want to watch it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it looked like it had a little bit of humor. Okay. I guess I'll have to rewatch that trailer. Huh?
Yeah. The most recent trailer, it looked like there was going to be a lot of jump scares.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see the most recent trailer. I saw one where I saw like she just had a lot of jokes and a lot of different scenes where I was like, huh. So it's going to be like comedy horror? Okay, I can do that. Whatever, let's do this. Okay, jump scares. Even better for spooky season. I'll let you know how it is, Jason. You know that means.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm glad you threw that out there because I meant to say that. I was like, dude, Batman and Interview with the Vampire, definitely getting you ready for spooky season. So perfect. Just perfect.
And guys, if you have not watched Beetlejuice, go watch it. Go watch it. It'll keep you real.
I still stand by it. It's better than the first one. I still stand by it.
I don't know if I can fully say that, but I know it's as good. It's just as good.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again when it comes out on Disney Plus Max. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
By the way, did you know that Warner Brothers Discovery cut $50 million off that budget because they thought it was going to flop?
Wow. Did pretty good.
They made like $260 million in their first 2 weeks. And let me just say, Warner Brothers Discovery has been doing cuts all over the place. They haven't been utilizing IP as well as they could. And this is an IP that people have been for decades asking for a sequel for. And they cut $50 million off the budget. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. But hey, the movie was still great, so I'm happy. All right, let's move on to the Emmys.
All right, so the Emmys were this past Sunday. I do have the list here of winners and nominations. So Luigi and I definitely, of course, want to talk about a few of them. Do you have the list in front of you too, Luigi?
I do. What do we want to talk about first, Jason? Are we going to talk about the big winner?
I guess we can mention that. I was going to go by the list that I have here because the first one I have is Outstanding Comedy Series.
Oh, outstanding! Oh, Hacks.
Yeah.
Hacks.
So,
Hacks. Here's what I will say. I haven't seen Hacks. What I did see was The Bear. I've seen Abbott Elementary, and I watched Reservation Dogs. I feel like what could have given Hacks an edge, and again, I have not seen Hacks, so if it is a bit of a dramedy, then I apologize. But The Bear and Reservation Dogs almost border more on drama than they do on comedy in a lot of episodes. So I think that may be what kind of set Hacks over the edge if they were a true blue, like comedy in every episode type of show.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it got me. So I have never heard of Hacks, and it's already in season 3. I read the synopsis of it. It's with a stand-up comedian that's in Las Vegas that's about to lose her residency, and she's trying to revamp her like career and stuff like that, so she doesn't lose her residency in Las Vegas. And it's with Jean Smart. She came out in Legion, and I forgot what other movies that I absolutely loved her in. But looks like she's the main character. What?
Yes, she's been in quite a few films. She was also the main character, I think, pretty sure, in Designing Women. Do you remember that show? It always come on after Golden Girls on the Lifetime channel. Don't ask me how I know. I just know. You remember that?
No, I don't.
Okay,
she's also in in Mayor of Easttown. Mayor of Easttown. She was the mother of Kate Winslet.
Yeah, that's more of a that's a better answer. That's a better answer than mine. Yeah, Designing Women, never heard of it. Never.
She was in Watchmen. I'm not sure which character she played, but she was in Watchmen. The show.
Played, one of the main. She was the cop, the investigator, but she was also her character was also a superhero in the olden days. I think Laurie Blake, also known as what was her name before? She played. The character was Laurie Blake, and then she had like a superhero name. I cannot remember what it was. But yes, she was in, you're correct, she was in Watchmen. And
Bringing Down the House.
Bringing Down the House. I don't remember that one, but.
I think it was the one with Steve Martin and Queen Latifah.
Oh, okay.
Steve Martin's wife, I think.
All right. No, I hear you. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I mean, she was in a lot of films that people have seen that I have not.
Oh, for sure.
Bruce Willis. She was in Snow Day. It looks like she came out of things. So Jean Smart is the head of Hacks, and from what I hear, she does an amazing job.
I like her, man. I like her a lot. So honestly, it sold me. I was like, oh, I got to put that on the queue. Especially
Yeah.
3 seasons. Something for Jamie and I to binge while we're not watching football.
Wow. I was a little sad to see that Reservation Dogs and The Bear did not get it. I felt like The Bears season 3 was honestly one of the best things I've seen. And I already told you how much I loved the final season of Reservation Dogs. I was really hoping it would get some love, and it got a nomination, so I'm gonna have to settle with that being good enough. But I definitely those FX shows they were fantastic.
I mean, we can't feel too bad for The Bear because they did end up winning 11, bringing home 11 Emmys. That wasn't the best one, though, that night. The best one was Shogun with bringing home 18 total Emmys, which we'll go into.
Outstanding drama series, the best. Beat Out, Fallout, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Three Body Problem, Slow Horses, The Crown, Gilded Age, and it took home. Speaking of Olympics, the gold. You know what I mean? They really, if anybody swept, it was them.
In comparison, I did watch a TikTok. This guy that I follow, who I love his takes on movies and shows. I forget his name, so I do apologize. Maybe I'll plug it in next week if I can remember his name. In comparison, Game of Thrones in total during their 1 through 8 seasons won a total of 56. Wow. Alone, Shogun season 1 won 18. That's pretty crazy.
Honestly, Shogun it's so well done. It's at almost a higher level of Game of Thrones, at least their first seasons, in terms of what they did with those sets. And how much they adapted from the original story, which is based in history. So it blew me away watching that show. It really did.
Yeah, another thing they did, so it's greenlit for season 2 and 3 now.
So what I'm wondering is, how are they going to play this out? Season 2 has got to be mostly war, right? And then season 3 will be post-war?
Well, yeah, so they did say that as like the story's mostly finished based off of that storyline, but they feel that they can still add on to it for season 2 and 3. So I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they say they feel very confident in continuing the story.
I mean, as I mentioned before, the war that plays out, it really is going to be one major battle, which we'll get to watch at least, hopefully, even though they had like a scene where he imagines it. We can always say that was just him imagining it. This is what's going to actually happen, right? Mm-hmm. And then there could be a season 3 in which they have a rebellion, a failed rebellion against Hiroyuki Sanada's character, the Shogun. Gosh, what is his name in real life? Ieyasu Tokugawa, against Ieyasu Tokugawa's shogunate, which would be the little boy. You remember the little boy?
Oh, he tries to overthrow him, huh?
Well, I think it was more so that he gets convinced to do it by other people. It is a miserably failed rebellion. So we'll see if that turns out to be the case.
Now, people that he went up against, well, speaking of his character, he ended up winning the lead actor in a drama series. Went up against Donald Glover in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Idris Elba in Hijack, Gary Oldman in Slow Horses, Walton Goggins in Fallout.
Which, oh my God,
Dominic West in The Crown.
Fallout. Jesus. That was a great performance. I'm pretty impressed that Hiroyuki beat him out, although he did an amazing job in Shogun. So not surprised, just impressed.
Also pretty impressed with Donald Glover because I did like him in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, his character. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that show was pretty good too, man. It gets really deep at the end. Like it starts off as a comedy and it gets very, very dramatic. Just kind of like ATL vibes, you know, but it makes sense because Donald Glover definitely helped, influence that show as well. Another show that I haven't watched that's available on Apple is Hijack. I kept seeing that every time you watch a show on Apple TV, like watch Hijack. They just throw it in your face. Like, all right, fine, maybe I'll watch it. So the fact that he got nominated for that kind of was like, all right, maybe I will.
A lot of shows on Apple TV Plus. Need to get some more love. I still need to watch the Jake Gyllenhaal
Presumed Innocent. Whew.
Innocent. Still got to
Yeah,
watch
you
that.
do.
Someone else recommended that to me recently as well, and I was like, my friend and co-host has been telling me that I need to watch that show for a while now. So I need to jump on it. I haven't yet. I also want to watch Shrinking with Jason Segel and Harrison Ford. That one looks like it's going to be a pretty good one as well.
All right. Now, speaking of lead actor, there's obviously you got the lead actress in a drama series, none other than Anna Sawai in Shogun.
Guys, Anna, if that's not how you say your name, we're doing our best. Yeah, honestly, I thought she was the best part of the show, if I'm being realistic.
Oh, definitely, dude. Definitely.
Yeah, her performance just every episode was gut-wrenching, and she just plays it so perfectly well. Sad to see that we won't see her in season 2. If you haven't watched season 1, it's been a minute, so you should have watched it by now if you're watching our show. But
Dude, just like her character development too, and like we start finding out more about like her story and like what she goes through, and just like the way women had to like live life like that, it's crazy, man. Just the way that culture was back in the day in that Japanese culture is pretty wild to see. But definitely a lot of growth, and just really showed up and did what she needed to do to support the main character. Oh, yeah, the main character, and did everything that she needed to do. So that was awesome. I do want to shout out Maya. People with these hard ass last names, dude. I swear. Erskine. She is the lead actress that plays Mrs. Smith and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. She was awesome too, man. Like that dynamic with her and Donald Glover was awesome, dude.
You're selling this show for me. I'm starting to want to watch it.
Yeah, dude. Like it's totally different from the movie with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Again, it's more comedic, but also dramatic. Like it's so much better than the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to check it out. Going back to The Bear, though, Best Supporting Actress, I do think it was deserved off of one single episode.
Yes, dude. Yes, I was so glad when I was like, no way she won. She deserved it. She deserved it.
Lisa Colon Sayas for The Bear. My goodness, that episode was so. Oh man, I'm not usually the one that gets emotional on this show, but like it got me. It got my eyes welling up just watching her, like the struggle and like the way life beats you down, and the way she just kept trying and trying and trying, and life was. I mean, you see how she is in season 1. She's already very defeatist, and to see where she came from all the way to where she is in season 2, in itself, I know it's just it's a fictional character, but these characters are based off of things that happen in life, and it was a deep one for me. I appreciated that episode that they dedicated to her, and the time they dedicated to her character. Well deserved win for Best Supporting Actors.
Yeah, like you said, man, just like you just see like how she becomes part of that restaurant, and like how and we get to see oh my gosh, Bernthal.
John Bernthal, yeah.
John Bernthal's character again, like even though like I like that he popped up again, like we still see memories of him and like how he's affected each and every one of these characters is beautiful, and like why Tina started working there in the first place, and it was just amazing, and like you see her passion to wanting to be better, and we all go through that struggle, losing your job and stuff like that, and being down on bills and stuff like that. It's just crazy, and like that episode just kind of just shows like the normal life of a regular person, and you don't know what struggles everyone's going through.
Yeah, I'm wondering what that review was. Speaking of The Bear, what the review says. I mean, they made it seem like it's a bad review when Carmi goes, "What the?" and he sees the review finally post. But I'm just wondering to see how all that plays out, because we know He's also going to lose his sous chef. She's going. She's gone. She's done with his.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, maybe she won't. But I think they're going to play out this next season in which, like, you see her in her own space and them without her. And I think there will be some sort of reunion at one point, but it's going to look different and the rules are going to be different for them. Because Carmi, I think, needs to realize that he has an issue with anger and power. And he hasn't quite realized it yet because he has so much anger towards the way he was treated. And he's obsessed with that. The whole scene with Joel Hale, right? That's his name? Joel Hale is the actor, Joel Hale.
I can't remember.
He plays that chef that just made him feel like complete crap all the time.
Yeah, I don't know his real name. Yeah, but fuck that guy.
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale, yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't even remember him. I think that's the most just like gut-wrenching part where he's like, I don't remember you.
It's like, well, you were terrible and blah, blah, blah. I was like, but yeah, look at you now. It worked, right? That's probably like the most backhanded compliment you ever got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like,
he's like, oh.
It was in spite of you.
Yeah, exactly. It still worked.
Yeah, no, yeah. I would say the bigger influence was the other chef, played by another Oscar winner. Jeez, they had so many names on that show that it's mind-boggling. Big shout out to their 9 Inch Nails usage, by the way. I always want to shout out any 9 Inch Nails usage, but God, what's her name? Give me a second to find her while you harp a little bit on the bear.
Yeah, I'll harp a little bit on the bear. Supporting actor in the comedy series will be Evan Moss, Backrock. I don't know. Sorry, guys, if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm not good at pronouncing these last names. But that's cousin.
Oh, okay, cousin. Yeah. Olivia Colman is the other chef. She was the one who was closing down her restaurant.
There we go. But yeah, shout out to Ebon, man. That's my favorite character in the bear, bro. Cousin is the best, dude. Yeah, he's the best.
Another very well-deserved Emmy because of same thing. He displays the struggle really well.
Yeah, El Boy too has actually got nominated as well. The one that does the desserts. So shout out to him. Tyler James Williams in Abbott Elementary got nominated as well.
Shout out to Jeremy Allen White, winning lead actor in a comedy series again. I think this is his second one, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah, man. I mean, he deserves it. I'm pretty sure you want to shout out to your boy from Reservoir Dogs. I'll let you pronounce that name because I don't know how to pronounce that.
DeFaro Wunatai. I hope that's correct.
We'll see. All right, there you go. That sounds good, honestly.
Yeah. He
was nominated. Shout out to him.
Yeah, he does a great job on the show. I think he has some really. He is the character that guides us through the show the most. So it was definitely good to see a nomination for him because he's had some really good moments on that show. I do want to talk about another one that had some big winners, which was
anthology series.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You already knew where I was gonna go. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Richard Gadd for Baby Reindeer. He won writing. He won writing for a limited series, and if I'm not mistaken, he got actor and
lead actor as well.
And then Jessica Gunning won for supporting actress in Baby Reindeer, which, by the way, one of the craziest shows I have ever seen. Like the way it takes twists and turns, I was like, I didn't even see this coming, and then it just happens.
Bro, I'm not surprised she didn't win that. I would have been surprised if she didn't win that.
Yeah, honestly, she does an amazing
job. She played
job.
that stalker person extremely well. Like almost to the point where, like, I don't know what.
A little too well.
a little too well.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that show I would say is another masterpiece too. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is a must watch.
And I do appreciate that one episode where before it starts, it tells you like, hey, this might be a little bit disturbing for you. There's gonna be this in it. I do appreciate that because it definitely was disturbing.
Are you talking about the one that shows his past?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It is a pretty jarring episode, and for anybody who has experienced that, that would definitely be. It
Yeah,
would
so
be
I
a
do
tricky.
appreciate that Netflix does update you on that. So if like you want to skip, because it was, I was like, wow, that was really dark. I hope no one ever has to go through that. So it was intense.
Sadly, yeah, sadly they do. But yeah, I hope this helps people kind of realize that they don't have to do those things, and that they can do well without it. Uh, but yeah, Baby Reindeer, just fantastic all
Also,
around.
also one limited anthology series overall too. It beat out True Detective, Night Country, um, Fargo, Ripley, and Lessons in Chemistry. I do want to shout out for lead actress in an anthology series for drama was actually, oh my gosh, what's her name? She's super famous. Jodie Foster. She won.
Oh yes, she did.
True
Yes.
Detective Night Country. I enjoyed True Detective Night Country.
Yeah, I didn't mind it either. I know there were people who really hated the supernatural aspect of it. I get that. I understand it.
Yeah.
But Jodie Foster did a great job. I think the acting in the show was solid. I do want to see Lessons in Chemistry, though. Like, Brie Larson looks like she does a pretty damn good job, so I kind of want to give it a chance to see what that one's all about, and see if maybe she gave Jodie Foster a run for her money, because I've heard nothing but good things about that one, which is also on Apple TV Plus.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I'm pretty sure an episode of the Bear one. Give me 1 second. I think it was the episode for fishes, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it won for writing for a comedy series and director for the comedy series for that episode specifically, which is was the Thanksgiving episode, Christmas episode.
Oh yeah.
So I guess it still fell into the Emmy Award winning, but that's the one where we got to see the whole family and what is her name? She recently won Best Supporting Actress.
Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, I think that's the episode where we first get to see her the first time and her like overreacting over Thanksgiving dinner. I think that's the episode that got nominated.
So Emmys was for their season 2. I apologize. Okay,
Yeah.
that tracks a little bit better for me. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense, because that episode is amazing. I got to give a shout out to Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. They do some hilarious stuff with their variety shows. They definitely know how to work comedy into their segments on investigative reporting. So big shout out to Last Week Tonight. Any other shout outs that you've got, Jay?
Honestly, I think that's it. I mean, there's some stuff that based off the Emmys that won, like Hacks and Hijack, that definitely caught my eye that I want to put in there that I want to watch personally. So definitely something to put on the queue. So it's always kind of nice to watch the Emmys because like, oh, it won this much, like, you know, kind of catches your attention. I was like, I need to put it on the list, see if I missed out, or maybe give my own opinion about it, especially for us since we're doing this podcast.
Yeah, I definitely think I need to check out Three Body Problem now on Netflix, because it had a few nominations.
Hell yeah, man. Well, yeah, I'm again very happy that Shogun, The Bear, and you know a lot of the shows that we watched this year that we talked about this year, which is pretty cool to see. Won a lot of that stuff, so I'm glad they got their recognition.
All right, fantastic, man. I think we're gonna leave it there, unless you have any more Emmy talk, Jay.
No, that's it, man. Tune in next week for another episode of Revenge of the Pod, right?
Peace out, guys.